set is a dangerous game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Throwing Carl. And Danielle just stirring the pot a little bit.
I noticed that.
Corey Heim, first car out, quickest, 29. 89, move him to second. Here's Zane Smith. Paint scheme of the weekend, Tootsie's. In fact, Suarez said if I win, I might just drive straight down to Tootsie's to celebrate a very popular establishment here in Nashville.
It'd be rude for us not to go with him. I mean, it'd just really be rude. If he wins...
See you there.
Yeah, like if he wins and we don't go celebrate with him, that's just, very rude.
Zane picked up about 2/10 from his lap in practice. Ran a 96 in practice, 76 here. Let's see what the 99 of Daniel Suarez can do.
I thought it was very telling how AJ talked about that shift that we heard kind of go bad. It sounded like he's like, maybe I just wasn't as committed as I needed to be. Suarez 29.88, 9s. Might give a little bit of a thought right here.
Yeah, this will be an interesting lap for sure. Carson was 8th in practice with a 29.86. It's going to need to find a little bit of time. Almost got a fits, it looked like right there off of turn 2, but he's got
the tracker's good to him here. I'm surprised.
He got everything.
My man in his visor up. Every time we go on board Carson, his visor's up.
Intensity in the qualifying lap, and this time at equal speed. Top of the board, 77, Hocevar.
The track would gain grip. Yeah. Like I think as you pick up that slimy rubber, the fresh concrete is going to be better. Now we will see, but
yeah, you think the rubber in racetrack is going to be tighter on balance, so these cars that go out there are going to be limited on front grip, and that'll improve as they pick up the rubber and the cars continue to go. Hocevar slowed down. Or actually, Hocevar picked up a 1/10 as well from a 86 to a 75 there.
And I think that matters too, is the bogey. If you have no idea what fast is, but like
Raja Karuth won a truck race last night. Hocevar leading the way here so far in qualifying, and now Justin Haley was pretty good in Group 1 as well.
And Garner trucking on the side of this. I point that out because that's been a partner from Spire way back a couple of years now. So as this company grows, it's great to see older partners sticking with them, and a great lap right here.
A little holler trash talk between teammates. Haley Bess Hocevar 29.62. If I was going to go out in Nashville, I'd want to go with Noah, but I couldn't hang for like 30 seconds with him in this town.
This guy right here was the fastest guy in the first practice, one of the most dominating long run cars in all practice. 10th up on Haley down into turn 3. Can he commit to the throttle over the bump? Losing a little bit of time right there. Oh, a little bit of movement. Losing that time. Coming to the line.
He's P1, but as you said, gave it. Bubba Wallace top 10 here a year ago. Had the graphic earlier. He owns the only top 10 finish. Last 5 races for 23-11. Got it done at Talladega Superspeedway. But 3 straight finishes outside the top 30. They need to rebound and start going back the other way on the leaderboard. A lot of green here with our tracker.
Yeah, he's got a good lap going. Let's see if he can have a little bit better. If he just gets through 3 and 4 okay, he'll improve on what Blaney did there. And he's struggling as well over that bump. But not as bad. It's coming back the other way. Steve?
Track record 29.55. Way back with Eric Almirola. 29.
Sure the black polo.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't want to put you on the spot. How much Johnny Cash in the playlist for you?
Me? Yeah, I think there's a little bit in there. Even going to the Grand Ole Opry, pretty awesome. Had the chance to do that over the last couple of years. I've never been before. No, Steve's been to that as well.
Yeah, it's great.
I saw Jelly Roll with Joey Logano last night hanging out. That's a good combo right there. 51, Cody Ware. And hey, speaking of music, did you know he plays a little guitar? Likes to disconnect from the racing world, calm himself down playing a few tunes. That's the best fact I got today. I think that's the fact of the day.
That's the fact of the day.
Bubba Wallace, best time so far, 29.52.
He was only a couple minutes off going into 3, but gave up quite a bit of time through 3 and 4. I think just kind of being conservative. Obviously, with the challenges of how rough the racetrack is at that point.
Kyle Larson, big, high, wide entry into 3, coming to the green and already tracking into the green. We'll see how he runs around the bottom here.
Backed up the corner or just didn't get down in there, losing more time. Man, not a great lap.
Won this race 2021, did so in dominating fashion. We were uncertain where he was after practice because they didn't flash up on the sheet like they normally do.
Yeah.
And qualifying, going to put him 6th of the... Trevor?
Yeah, I'm here with Bubba Wallace, currently top of the pylon. Bubba, how good was that lap for you there out of field?
It felt good. We struggled so bad in qualifying here, so we just kind of wanted to take a step back, and it seems to be paying off. We'll see how good the lap is. Proud of our Chumba Casino team. Last week, I'm sorry, but it sucked. It sucked. And so it was nice to just come back here with some speed, and that's a nice thing. And being in the right headspace, you tend to let the bad races go a lot easier now and enjoy the most important things, and that's family, and it allows you to reset. And so comes in here with a clean mind, and that's what I'm enjoying right now. So our car's fast. We'll see how that translates over to tomorrow. But all in all, a good start to the weekend.
All right, great start for 2311 here in practice and qualifying, Adam.
He's done an outstanding job this year, too, at gaining stage points. Start up front, you got a chance to do it. John Hunter Nemechek next out.
Yeah, he made a mistake right there up the racetrack. You're seeing him bleed all the lap time down the back straightaway, heading the wrong direction. Coming in here, 2 top 10s in the last 3 races, and that could easily be 3. They were running great last week at the 600. Ended up having some misfortune late, but had some real speed. He's going to want to have this one back. Another opportunity to try to, but it cost him at lap time.
Second car from Team Penske, Austin Cindric out. His teammate Ryan Blaney currently second after that 29.60. Let's see what the 2 does.
You see just how fragile that 1 and 2 is, right? You know, John Hunter drives it in there trying to run an impressive lap. Car doesn't work. Cindric backed the corner up a little bit, got in the green, wrapped the bottom, and it just wasn't carrying enough speed, right? So now a little bit better down here in 3 and 4, but this entire 1/10 of a second that he's off was all at one end of the racetrack.
Absolutely. You mentioned it, Steve, how odd this racetrack is, and it's all about that turn 1 entry. Car down in the corner, but you end up getting in the middle of the corner going way too fast. So the next time you go down in there, you change everything, and you feel like you're underdriving the car. It's a really, really hard turn to hit perfectly.
And now, that's one car at a time in qualifying. Wait until tomorrow when they decide we're going to do that 3 wide and maybe 4 wide to get to the middle of the corner and try to figure it out.
5 thousandths of a second separate Blaney and Cindric, the teammates, and second and third is Ty Gibbs on track, first from Joe Gibbs Racing.
And every car. I wanted to say in the interview with Trevor that that's going to be on the pole. I think you could tell in his voice, or at least, you know, my opinion is he believes there's someone that can run faster than that. But it seems like it just took for a big reset, and so far that reset's working.
I just love his attitude and approach, though, because we talked during practice about their struggles recently. And he just stayed in the game. He's reprioritized his life, understands everything, being a dad, and here he is finding speed after some rough times for the last month or so. Alex Bowman, a 1/10 and a half off, heading to 3.
A little bit up the racetrack. Oh, look at the car take off when he goes across that bump.
He took that big arc and it just didn't get to the bottom. And for the fans at home, like, he wants to get to the yellow line. He is.
Bowman 6th. Teammate Larson down there in the 9th position. Ty Dillon hits the track.
Interesting 1 and 2. He had it going there in the middle. Looked like he lacked some rear grip on corner exit. Just couldn't really commit to the power. That'll be really uncomfortable over these bumps.
Yeah, the back end moved around a little bit right there, but
Talk about the speed for Colleague here.
Austin has 3 top 10s, all of them coming in the last 5 races. This team seems to be maybe improving slightly over the last several weeks. It's been a tough year, though. Relatively quiet.
Austin won a truck race here 2011. Went on to claim the championship that year.
See the hands, see the gloves, fighting.
A little bounce, huh?
Boy, he was busy.
I bet that bump wasn't here 2011.
So I'll tell you, if I'm any of these cars.
Austin Dillon ends up 5th. 20th car out, Chris Buescher, top 5 here a season ago, and flashing some green as he comes off turn 2.
He drove down in there and gained on Bubba, but he loses all that momentum, not able to carry the speed on corner exit, but he's not too far off, just to have a 10th here. backs up the entry. Can he gain some of that back? He does. Look at that exit. Really good corner exit right there coming to the line.
The give and take of a lap at Nashville Super Speedway to the top.
Trying to have the right aero balance while maintaining as much total downforce as possible. And oh yeah, get it over that bump in turn 3. It's really that simple, Adam. That's all you need to do is get the perfect height in the back, the perfect height in the front, and get it to ride the bumps correct.
You know, we're doing qualifying, and he's over there sitting back, legs crossed, relaxed. You roll that in, well, he's up on the edge of that seat. Hey, it's great, though, man. It's awesome.
Well, you know, downforce is your friend, right? That is instant grip. Downforce, we talk a lot about tires and grip and that, but downforce is what's pulling that car or pushing that car into the concrete. The more downforce you have, the easier it is to drive.
Shane Van Gisbergen goes 8th. Coming off, you've been popping to 45. We'll see what Reddick's got. Teammate up there in 2nd.
It's going to be all down here. I think he's looking good.
He lost the back right there, Steve. But he's still in it. My goodness. Did you see the back of that car sliding off into one?
The time and the look do not line up.
No.
It looked awful, and it is unreal fast. And this is what's going to have everybody scratching their heads, because everything you're supposed to do, this car didn't do, except for this right here. This lap time is what they're looking for. This is going to be a monster lap.
The bullet equals speed. Top of the board, Tyler Reddick.
And another thing I heard him do was he didn't shift. Right before the flag stand, the car got into the chip, and he thought in his mind, it's probably better for me just to stay full throttle than to shift the car into high gear.
34, Todd Gilliland.
He's had some highlights this year, but these high-speed ovals have not really been the marquee type racetrack of this 34 car. Granted, the speedways, a few good runs at the short tracks, but they're definitely looking for something at these higher speed tracks.
19th, Marty.
Let's chat with Chase Elliott and talk about the challenges of Nashville Super Speedway. Everybody talking about the bumps in 3 and 4. So what's more difficult, the bump in the middle of 3 and 4 or the bump on the exit of 4?
Well, for me, probably the bump on the exit. I feel like the one on entry is kind of fine, I felt like. But yeah, the one late in a run up off, I feel like that becomes a challenge. And then obviously how hard you push in traffic kind of makes it worse. So, yeah, I thought our KBB Chevy was fast. It did the things I wanted to do. I just didn't have the versatility to be able to move around and, you know, be able to move up the track and make any time. It looked like it was a pretty big challenge for everybody that I saw, at least. So, hopefully we can put some of that magic in it for tomorrow night, because that'll be a big deal if you can do it.
And Junior, as Chase and I were talking, he said the bump off of 4 is just in such a bad spot because it's right where you're getting back to full throttle.
Yeah, and he talked about it as well. When you're in traffic, you got cars on your inside. It's taking the car and changing the balance, making it tight. So you're going over that bump in a different way with a different balance. Also with the wall approaching. So they're going to have their hands full late in the run. Won't be having a lot of fun watching them. The 8-car Kyle Busch out on the racetrack, spun out in practice early. Struggling with this lap right here, guys.
12 for Kyle Busch. 2 times.
We didn't really get the result. I mean, the average running position was probably somewhere in the mid-top 10 all night long, and start to seeing maybe this team turn the corner as well. He had a terrible corner right there, though.
Didn't lack commitment on entry. It just didn't do what he wanted in the middle.
He went down in there, chased the car on the racetrack, and he's trying to go to throttle, just could never really do it. Losing the nose of the car, just not handling well. Saw his teammate Gilliland struggle just a moment ago. This team, too, has a pretty similar issues with the balance of the race car, half a second off the pole.
I tell you, I was fascinated this week. You know, this car in general, everyone I talk to, it just needs to be hustled. It needs to be attacked. It needs to be overdriven. Those are all the terms people use about making time. And then Carl, who's won here so many times, talked about how that is nothing that had ever worked for him here. That was years ago. So I came here with a totally different mindset to see, you know, what works. And I'm seeing a balance. Some guys are very tentative into the corner. Other guys like Reddick look to me like he overdrove it. The car slid, he just jumped back in the gas. So it seems like I've yet to find a correlation to you know, entry speed and commitment level and overall time.
Joey had a interesting turn 1 and 2 where he kind of backed up the entry, gained some of that back, but still just a little bit of time off of Reddick.
Joey 32nd in practice, but look at this, goes to 2nd. And in fact, when you look at Trevor.
Yeah, I'm here with Tyler Reddick, and we were just talking about his lap. We said it wasn't pretty, but it sure was fast. What happened there into turn 1 when you got so free and up the racetrack?
Yeah, just a lot of mistakes. Missed downshifts, missed marks both ends, but it's great that our Pinnacle Toyota Camry's fast. I hope others make mistakes like I did and we can hang on and get the pole, but yeah, we'll just see. We'll see. Hopefully it's good enough.
Driver gets out, says he made a lot of mistakes. Still on the pole by a tenth or so. It's a fast 45 Toyota from Tyler Reddick.
Puts it on his shoulders.
He does.
You know,
really
every
does.
time. Josh Berry, ninth, as we check in on Brad Keselowski. Ford's looking good so far.
Brad's doing pretty good here. I mean, I know he's had the 10th off, almost a full 10th off, but that's not bad considering that it's a little over a 10th back in the second place. So this is trending maybe into a top 5 lap. If he can have a good 3 and 4, he gives up a lot on entry, but he gains some of it back right here. Great lap.
I totally agree. We're going to focus on the pole, but you start inside the top 10. I think there's 8 really good pit stalls when I look at the openings and all that. Not a tight pit road, but all that kind of helps. So a great start to the weekend for the 6 car.
Momentum for Keselowski, the top 5 last week. Second right now in qualifying. On board, Denny Hamlin. They need a little shot of momentum too. We talked about their struggles, and really not struggles as much as bad luck lately.
Little bad luck, little bad execution. You know, I have to put that fueling situations to human error. Great 1 and 2. Look at this.
Made all that up on corner exit.
You mentioned Reddick hitting the chip of the line. Listen to this engine, see if Denny shifts before the start finish. Oh, he's got it. Do that.
Great 3 and 4. Getting over a 10th down there.
Wow.
Reddick said, I made a mistake. Hopefully everyone else does. Here this team is having, making his 450th start. 3 times the driver has won and start 450. Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, and Dale Jr. You at Michigan in 2012. That was a great day for you guys.
It was. This guy right here, though, he beats all I've ever seen. Their ability to just grind it out. They don't have any speed. They're just a struggling, in my mind, a single car team, and they are outperforming a lot of great race teams this year, sitting in a great position in the points right above the cut line.
Talk about momentum. Michael McDowell missed his pit stall last week, rallies all the way back for a top 10 finish. One of those drivers, as we talk about the cut line, knocking on the door of a playoff spot. Pretty good speed here in the 71.
Such a funny thing is when you go. If this was before Hamlin had gone, this would have been green the whole time around for Reddick, right? It's just that lap from Hamlin, once again, as Dale pointed out, it puts such a gap from first to second that if you're only at 10th off, you've had a great lap.
Qualified 21st, and you know, it's hard to make connections, but that's also a concrete venue.
Fun to watch this guy drive a race car. He's up on the steering wheel. Brian Priest, who would have thought the 3rd RFK team put together just in the middle of the off-season, now out here 6 points above the cut line, having a great season.
He's got a couple of truck wins here. Solid in Xfinity. Top 5 in this race last.
AJ's team had a little trouble in tech inspection, lost a little bit of time on practice, but went out and ended up 11th on the board and 10th and a half, building to 2 tenths down the back straightaway. They need a really good 3 and 4 down here. Another 10th loss there.
For Allmendinger. 29.61.
Was on the pole here in 22 and 24, so he knows how to qualify around here.
Bell last year, his teammate won both stages, led a ton of laps, but spun out, hit the wall, finished outside the top 30.
And he's within reach. Half a tenth is possible down here at this end of the racetrack. It's going to have to be nearly perfect.
Not going to be perfect, but he's going to execute well enough to have a pretty solid starting spot. Christopher Bell at the line, 4th, 29.38.
Toyotas, 1, 2, 4 right now. Looking pretty good. Last Toyota to qualify. Briscoe's a 19 car.
And Chase was really good in practice earlier, driving the 19. Won the pole last week for the Coke 600, finished in the top 5 for a second consecutive week.
This team with James Smalls had some good runs here, had some good cars here in the past. You got to feel like they got an opportunity to put a great car, and it looks like a great car so far. Trending in the green, going down into turn 3. It is so tight, though. He's going to have to be perfect down here. He's gaining time, guys. This is a good run to the flag.
Could it be 2 weeks in a row for the 19 on the pole? P1 right now. Briscoe 29-12 jumps in front of Denny Hamlin.
They talked about it, can match it.
Top 3 are Toyotas. Last 3 to go, Chevrolets. Here's Chase Elliott in the 9. Won this race 2022.
That look over his shoulder of seeing him downshift, that's going to be such a great look all night. You see right here.
Yeah, that's really nice to be able to see the downshift and working those bumps. See him grab the gear before the start-finish line. The Toyotas ran all the way through into the chip. Tonight, maybe a little more acceleration.
9th for Chase Elliott. Ross Chastain won here 2023. Going to run the Xfinity race this evening for you guys driving that 9 car. 3rd start of the year in a JRM Chevy. And, of course, so successful last weekend, putting himself in the playoffs with a victory in the Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah, I know how Justin Marks must feel every single week. You got to have some thick skin. This guy doesn't mind rubbing fenders with folks.
Yeah.
And making it exciting. He's fun to watch.
I love it when you get a star who's unapologetic.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes sports great. They're willing to get to this level of uncomfortable, and I'm not sure everybody will, right? They're put it all out there. Good lap.
Yeah.
He says he has no friends at the racetrack. That's better than me. I just have no friends, you know?
Oh, come on. And we're gaining on it. Too.
Yeah, we're getting our arms around it. Chastain top 5, last car to go, William Byron. Championship leader coming into the second half of the regular season.
Really good lap. For Byron, we weren't really incredibly high on his speed in practice. Felt like he was a top 10 car, but needed a little bit more, but this is a pretty solid run.
Going to be the best from Hendrick Motorsports. It will appear. Lost a little off of turn 4, back to the line. Byron ends up 3rd, your pole sitter for the Cracker Barrel 400.